Welcome, my constant reader friends. I'm Tad, and this is Tad Reads Books and Stuff. Well, thank you for joining me. In this video, we are going to be continuing with the MARVEL-ous Team Up, a series where myself and Grozz from the GKBC read graphic novels. About every 2 weeks, we do an update on the novel we're reading. And of course, we are reading Thirsty Mermaids by Leyh. So let's start off with this new section. It's called Part 3, Let's Break Shit. Now, if you recall from our last episode, Pearl and Tooth were trying to find some type of job because Vivi says, you all are going to have to, help with the finances here. My rent, food, things like that. So they were out looking for some type of job. They were doing it in person because they really couldn't fill out their applications for jobs. They didn't know how to fill out those. Anyways, they left Ease behind because they want Ease to really just work on figuring out some type of counter curse or some type of way to break the spell that she cast that turned them into humans and get them back to mermaids so they can go back home to the ocean. So Ease was left to her own devices, and in this chapter we're going to see what Ease was doing during the time they were looking for jobs. And Ease decides she's going to go out and try to find a land witch. A land witch to help a sea witch to break this spell. So she just goes walking out into the land of humans, not very gracefully, and just starts walking down the pier here in this, vacation land. And she comes across certain things like, a psychic. She goes to the psychic. The psychic wants to read her palm, shows her palm, basically doesn't really have any lifelines or anything on it. She tells her to get out. She goes on. She's walking down. Next, she runs into a Mystic Treasures shop. And it's, a kind of witchy, paranormal, psychic shop where you can buy crystals and smudges and different things. And she does buy some incense from this lady because the lady says, burn this and you'll be able to banish, curses. So maybe this will work. She don't know. She goes back home. And next we shift to Vivi, and she's back with her sister Angel. And that's what these chapters do. They kind of just jump around. They go back, different scenes in each part or chapter. Pretty cool. The story's really starting to advance now. Vivi and Angel are talking, and of course Angel's still concerned about these people who may be taking advantage of her sister and her, her goodwill, her penchant for bringing in strays. So yeah, so she's worried about that. She wants her to, Angel wants Vivi to introduce her to the girls. She goes back home. At this point, when they come in the apartment is full of smoke. Ease decided to burn this incense, but burned a whole bowl of it. I mean, just burned all these. So there's smoke going off, and that. The Angel's like, oh my God, what's going on? They get in there, and she's like, oh, let me open a window. So Vivi runs over, opens up a window, and then the smoke alarm goes off, starts blaring. At this point, this is when Tooth and Pearl bust into the apartment, and what's going on? Is there a war or something? But it's just Ease burning incense. So they have to get out of the apartment and let it air out. Vivi disconnects the battery for the smoke detector. And they go up on the roof and they're hanging out on the roof. And the girls tell Angel that they're mermaids. Now, of course, Angel is very skeptical and now really thinks these people may be dangerous to Vivi because they're maybe not so stable in the brain. And she decides that she's going to go for a walk and bring Ease with her because she thinks Ease might be the saner of the three. And she wants to kind of grill her and make her come clean and you know, tell what the hell is really going on. So she takes her out, and as they're walking, they see a street vendor selling fish. Ease is all excited, runs over, wants some fish. Lady brings out a certain type of fish that Ease requested, and Ease just gobbles the whole thing up. And Angel's like, holy crap. Maybe they are mermaids or definitely freaking strange. But she starts maybe seeing this might be true. Next, we jump to the scene where it's later in the day, well, almost night, getting into nighttime, because the thirsty mermaid is starting to jump, starting to hop. Things are happening. Vivi's at work, of course, tending bar. Pearl and Tooth are in the bar. They're a little depressed because the credit card that Tooth had found in the clothing that they had stolen and they've been using to buy drinks and things is now at a zero balance. Can't use the card anymore. So Tooth's a little upset about that. How are we gonna get drinks? Pearl notices a girl at a bar, you know, sitting by herself, being all cute, and a guy comes up and offers to buy her a drink, and you know, she goes, oh, what, is that how you do it? She goes up, starts talking to this girl, and the girl's like, yeah, you can do it, you know, you've got breasts, you can get a free drinks, and you got to use it, girl. So they end up going back and sitting down and talking. While that's happening, and they're starting to have a discussion, Tooth decides to go back and get Ease. Come on, Ease hasn't been hanging with us. We got to bring Ease out, have some fun. Goes back to the apartment to get Ease so she can come and hang out with the girls at the Thirsty Mermaid. When she comes in the apartment, Angel had rented a whole bunch of mermaid videos, DVDs, and they're sitting there watching cheesy mermaid movies. Because she's like, are you this type of mermaid? Are you a siren type of mermaid where you're evil and singing people to their deaths? Or are you the cute mermaid like Disney? Of course, Ease had no idea what Disney is. That's funny. That's pretty cool. So anyways, Tooth comes in and gets Ease and says, let's go party. So when Tooth and Ease finally get back to the Thirsty Mermaid, now of course Pearl is sitting down with this lady and another lady, and they're talking. Tooth and Ease come up, and Pearl's all excited. She's like, let these ladies tell you what they're doing, what they do for a living. And the girls say, oh, we're mermaids. We do mermaid shows. Now, this is where I'm going to tell another one of my little stories. I live in Florida right now. I graduated in Florida, not too far from this place called Weeki Wachee. If you haven't heard of it, Weeki Wachee Water Park. It's one of the oldest continually in operation theme parks in the United States. Even back in the day, Elvis Presley is famous for stopping by there and watching a mermaid show. They have mermaid shows where these girls swim, you know, with tails, and they put on a show underwater. You sit behind a glass and there's music, and they do a show. They've just got these hoses that just are in the water hanging there, and from time to time they just go over and they suck air, and they've learned how to stay down there continually for quite a while. The cool thing is, my niece was a mermaid, and recently just stopped a couple of years ago. She's now in the Coast Guard. Amazing. But for several years, that's what she did, and it's really cool. They travel all around doing shows. I mean, even foreign countries, they'll travel around and do these mermaid shows. Pretty cool. So I know what they're talking about. All right, so while this is happening, a large man comes up to the bar and starts really laying into Vivi, saying, my credit card balance is now at 0. I can see that my credit card has been purchasing large amounts of alcohol at this establishment. I want you to pay me back for. And she's like, whoa, dude, what's going on? No, that's an issue with your credit card company. So this is the dude that they stole the clothes from, and that they've been using his credit card. So he's pissed off and he wants something to be done. Of course, Tooth decides to go to the bar, walks up to the bar, the guy's there yelling at Viv. He turns and looks at Tooth and sees, he goes, I've got a shirt just like that. I have pants just like that. And then they just start going at it. They start brawling because he realizes that this is the person that stole his clothes and has been using his credit card. They start brawling. Tooth loves it. Tooth's a big girl. Tooth loves to fight and is having a blast while this guy's beating on her and she's giving it back and Vivi's yelling, everybody's yelling. Pearl, do something. Pearl says, you okay? To Tooth. Tooth like smiles, while she's getting punched in the face. So Pearl's like, nah, Tooth's having fun. She just sits back and lets it go. That's kind of funny. So of course that ends with them getting kicked out of the bar, the dude and Tooth. And now, of course, I've seen this many times. They're sitting now in the alley next to each other, kind of bonding over this brawl that they just beat each other up. And that's interesting because while they're sitting there, he's got a flask. They're just kind of bonding, really. One of the ladies from the bar walks up to them and says to Tooth, wow, you can really handle yourself. I would love it if you would come and do security at my club. I need a female security guard or bouncer. And would you consider coming and working for me? Boom. Tooth now has found a job. Cool job. Perfect for Tooth. So now we go to the next day, the next morning. We're back in Vivi's apartment. Angel's there, and Tooth is getting ready to start her new job. Angel's like, let me see if we can put some makeup on you or something. She tries to put makeup on Tooth. No, doesn't work. Nope, not good. She's like, well, at least let me try to do something with your hair. So they're messing around, trying to get Tooth presentable for her first day at work. So it's during the day now. Pearl, of course, not knowing anything else, decides, well, Tooth's got a job. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to the bar. So she goes back to the Thirsty Mermaid, but it's daytime. So now you've got a different atmosphere in the bar. You don't have music and party. You've got the daytime crew at the bar. Not too many, it's almost empty. You got these two salty dogs sitting at the bar drinking. Pearl sits down. She overhears Vivi talking to these guys, and what they claim to be is treasure hunters. They go out in the ocean. They're looking for sunken treasure on sunken ships. Sometimes they find things like wheels, and rudders and and things like that that they actually bring back and sell to the thirsty mermaid for their decor in their bar. Pearl hears them over, talking about this, and she's like, I know where there's wrecks. And they're like, huh? Really? Yeah, I can show you where they are. So now it looks like Pearl may have found herself a job. We don't know yet exactly, because that's the end of part 3. Very cool, very interesting. A lot of stuff happening, back and forth, back and forth. Again, my issue with this is it's too short. I wish it was longer. I wish we could develop these individual scenes a little bit more. It's fun. It's definitely fun. It's an easy read. But I just wish it was a little bit more. And I'm not a huge fan of the art, as I've mentioned before. In some areas, it just looks a little lackadaisical, especially Ease. Ease is the sea witch, and she's just all white with some black, like, tattoos on her. Very kind of washed out, flat. Not a lot of dimension to her physical character. I don't know. I would like it. I don't know. I mean, it's a style for sure, and it's not horrible. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I wanted just a little more detail in some of the imagery that she uses in this book, and again, a little bit more longer scenes, longer sections to explain a little bit more of what's going on, because it can feel a little disjointed, jumping real quick from these scene to scene to scene. But I'm enjoying it. I'm liking it. I believe there's only 2 more parts left, so we will be finishing this in about a month's time, and we will be going to another book, and we'll talk about that when the time comes. I can't wait to see what Grozz has to say about this part. I know he's digging it, and hopefully you're checking out his channel. Of course, I will link his channel in the comment area, and check him out. So, as usual, if you find any entertaining value in my videos, please like, subscribe, leave comments. I never really say hit that bell. I don't do it. I don't know why I don't hit bells. I just constantly searching videos when I look at YouTube. So I understand. No big deal. Please, if you can, I would appreciate it. All right, until next time, peace out.